Hello everyone, welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how to add interactivity to iOS widget using React Native's new architecture for iOS. So basically what we will do is we will store some value inside user defaults. Okay, so basically we'll have one label as well as one button. Once you click on a button, it will update the value inside user defaults and increment it by 1, and whenever you click on a button the value will get incremented by 1. Then we'll create a widget out of it. The widget will also have a label as well as a button. The label will show whatever is the current value inside user defaults, and once you click on a button it will update the value inside user defaults and update the label as well. Now in case if you don't know what user default is, it is basically like async storage to store key value data, but I'm just taking the value the example of user defaults because it is much more easier. But instead of user defaults you can take anything like Swift data, core data, sorry about the background noise, but you can take Swift data, core data. You can also make an API network call, so it's up to you. We will be following the new architecture documentation as well, so I have already done some part of it, but the widget part I will show it to you in this video itself because I don't want you guys to get confused. Okay, let's get started. So firstly, also this video is only for React Native iOS. So firstly you should open this particular documentation which we have, and here using this particular command I have created a project, but here you can name, instead of turbo module example, you can name your app whatever you feel like. You don't also have to pass this dash version. Whatever is the latest version it will take automatically if you don't pass this dash version. Then we'll have to create a specs folder. So this is my React Native project. Okay, inside that you will have to create this specs folder. Inside that you will have to create this TypeScript file, and again I have just copy pasted it from the documentation. So here you can see I'm not including this remove item and clear. I don't really need this for my example use case, so I'm just using this set item and get item which takes a key, and here is the return type is number, but here the return type is string. You can make it as number if you want to, but yeah, I'll leave it up to you. I think it's better to be consistent. But here you can see the set item is not returning anything, but in my case I'm just returning something. Let's see how it works out, and again this will change whatever is your file name according to that. Once that is done, you will have to copy paste this code inside your package.json. I have already copy pasted it, so here you can see I have done that, and again you will have to change it depending on this particular file name. So this is native local storage spec, and this is the Java package name. Then if I scroll down, firstly you will have to open your terminal, cd to the iOS folder which we have. Okay, so this one, and then you will have to run this particular command. I have already ran it, so I'm not running it again. Once this command is done, you will have to run this particular command. So once that is done, you will be done with the code generation step. Then to use it inside app.tsx, I'm importing it like this. Okay, then I have created one way like a use state just to get the value whatever is stored inside it. Okay, and here inside use effect we are immediately calling get item. So whatever is the value stored, as soon as the app is launched, we just assign it to our set value method. This is the key which we will have to use it on our widget side as well. And here I have created one button. On click of it we are just setting some like just calling this set item method. Okay, we are not passing value from over here because the value basically will be decided on the native iOS side, because whatever is the value we will just update it by 1. You could have done it over here as well, but I wanted to avoid that confusion. So once we have we just set some value, like we will increment it by 1, then we just call pass it to our set value, and this is our text for displaying that particular value. Okay, so yeah, the same thing. Then we will have to open the XE workspace of iOS. I have already opened it. Firstly we will like it says, we will have to create a group called native local storage. I have already done that. Then we'll have to create a Cocoa Touch class. So here you can see it is telling us to create Cocoa Touch class called RCT native local storage. Once you do that, it will automatically create this header file as well as Objective-C file, but you will have to change the Objective-C file extension to .mm, so it is Objective-C++. That's what they have defined over here as well. Now I have just copied this header file code which they have given over here, so you can see I have just copy pasted it, and for Objective-C file also I have copy pasted it to our extent. So this is the what you say suite name for user defaults. Don't use, so here by default they are following the right practice. Many of you might be wondering that we can use user defaults.standard. Don't use that, because we want to share that state between both our main app as well as our widget. That's why we are using suite name. Now this, what typically I do is, whatever is my bundle identifier, so if I come over here you can see this is my bundle, and I just copy it and I just paste it over like group dot whatever is your bundle identifier. So change that if your bundle identifier is different. Here we initialize our local storage. Again, this has been just copied from the documentation itself, and we only have this, so this is copied from documentation, and we only have get item as well as set item. So basically here you can see inside get item we just get the value for the key which you have passed, and for setting we get the current value which is present inside user default, update it by 1, save it to local storage, and then I just send it back to React Native side. Okay, so here the type is data type is number, that's why I had to convert it like this. But here you can see I am passing it as string, that's why I directly written this like this, but it's up to you. In our case it doesn't really matter much, but yeah, you should be careful with types. Okay, once this is done, what you will have to do is just click on file, new, and here you will have to select target, then select iOS, and here you will have to search for widget. Click next. You can give it whatever name you want. I'll just give it as RN app widget. Okay, and make sure you have unchecked this include live activity as well as include control, and then just click on finish. Once, okay, then we'll have to click on this activate button as well. Then I will again come back over here. I'll just copy this. I will go to our project. I will go to our targets, select our app. Here you will have to click on this plus capability button, select app group. This is necessary because we want to share the same user default state between our app as well as between our widget. So I'll just click on this plus button. Okay, to add a new container. Okay, so I'll just select a development team. Okay, I'll just select a development team, and here I'll just click on this plus button, and here I'll just add this group dot my bundle identifier. I'll click OK. Then I'll go back to my widget. I'll click on this plus capability. I'll select app group. Here also I will add my team, and here you don't have to click on the plus button. Here you can just search for whatever you have added. So for me it was group dot rn app, right? Group dot com dot rn app. So that's what I'm searching. I don't know, for some reason it is not showing it to me. Group.com.rn app. I think looks like an Xcode bug to me. Okay, never mind. I'll just click on this plus button and I'll create it again. If you are already seeing it, just select that. But I don't know, for some reason it wasn't showing it to me, so I'll just create it once again. Then we have to go to our RN app widget. Now this is completely Swift and Swift UI. So yeah, brace yourself. Then here first you will have to go to RN app widget. I'll just close this. I'm not interested in the preview. So if you remember, we are storing count inside our user defaults, right? So you'll have to add this count to this simple entry first. So I will just add that. Whatever data type you are storing, like maybe it might be Swift data. Inside Swift data you might be storing some string, that you should add it over here. Okay, now as soon as we add a count, we will get error over here. So I'll just click on this fix. Okay, and here I will just add a method called get value. Now will write get value later on, but same thing we'll have to do it over here as well. And here we don't need all this code. I'll just comment this out. Here we require an array, right? So I'll just do something like this, and I'll just copy this particular code and pass it over here. For policy end, I don't want it to automatically refresh. I want only when we click on the button then it should refresh. So for now I can just pass it as never. Okay, and again we have to add this count as well. So I'll just copy this and I'll paste it over here. Then we have to write this get value method. So what I'll do, I have already created one practice project. It is a native iOS project for which I had made a video, so I'll copy it from that, but I'll explain it to you what I'm exactly doing. So I'll just open this, and this is our get value method. So I'll just copy this. So this will do the same thing, like basically it opens user defaults. Now this suite name is important, right? So what was the suite name which we gave? It was group.com.rnapp. So you'll have to use the same name over here as well. Add, yeah. Then what was the key? The key was my key, I guess. Yeah, so this was the key, right? So I'll copy it, I'll paste it over here. So we are basically getting this particular value from user defaults. If we have it, then we send it back. If not, then we just return 0. Here we are getting an error because the date can be dot now. Okay, so this is fine. So that's what we are doing over here. Now this is the UI. I want to change it a little. I only want it to display the count label as well as one button to increment the count. So again I'll come back over here, and I'll just copy this text, copy this, and I'll paste it over here. So this will display our count, and here I have one button. You can't directly add a click listener to this button. Just like we have defined get value, you can't really directly write set value method inside this particular struct and pass it inside our button. We have to use something called app intents for widgets. So I'll just indent it properly. Okay, so here then we'll have to create a file called increment intent. So I'll just right click, new file from template, Swift file. I'll click on next. I'll click create an increment intent file. I'll click create. Okay, then again I'll go back to my sample project, and I'll just copy it and I'll explain it to you. So I'll just copy this and paste it over here. So basically we are creating this app intent. We have to define some title. This will be our key. So it was my key, right? Everything was small, I guess. I'll go back to app.tsx. No, key was capital. So be careful with this. So I'll have to use it over here as well. Now again, this should be our group name which we had created. So if you now see, this error should go away. So that error is gone. Now this should be group.com.rnapp. So I will just add it over here. So here is our user defaults. Then here is our integer. So we get whatever value is present inside user defaults. Then we just update it by 1, and then we set the value to user defaults, and we return back the result. Okay, so this we are overriding this method from app intent, and it will get automatically called once our button is clicked. So I'll just remove this. Okay, I think that should be it. Let me try it. Okay, it is showing me an error, missing para. Okay, yeah, here for this particular thing, this is just part of preview. We don't really need this, so we can just comment this out as well. And here also just select your back app again instead of the widget. Otherwise when you try to run it, your widget will run. So I will just try to run it, and let's see if there are any error. If not, I will show you guys directly the output. Okay, one thing which I want to tell you guys about is, once you try to run your application and if you see something like this inside your Metro bundler, then what you will have to do, just stop the yarn iOS process and then just do npm install. Once you do npm install, then you can run yarn iOS again, and then your Metro bundler should be something like this. But yeah, this I think is still an issue with the new architecture because it's still little bit new. Anyway, so here you can see this is our UI. Let's see, even I haven't tested it yet. So if I click on save, okay, so the value is definitely incrementing. Now the value is 8. Okay, I'll just close this app. Just long press on this app, click edit home screen, click edit, add widget, and here I will have to search for my app, rn app. Okay, so this is my app. I'll just select this, and here you can see these are all the different widget type, but it has already showing what is the value stored inside user default. So I'll just click on add widget. I'll click on done, so it is showing the right value. I'll click on increment, value is incrementing. Here you can see now I can just open my app again. I will have to obviously reload it because I'm getting this value inside use effect. That won't get called because I launched the app from the background. So I'll just do Control R, and here you can see value is level, and the same value was over here as well. So hopefully you got the point. That's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.